To the surprise of what I don't think should be really anyone, the very same people that were invited to this exclusive event are praising Rachel Zegler's performance. Snow White first reactions praise the remake. A big surprise. And Rachel Zegler stuns. Man, it's almost like we saw her very similar things about, I don't know, say the Little Mermaid movie, about Halle Bailey stunning and shining as the newest Disney princess. It's like we repeat the same thing every time one of these Disney movies comes out. But of course, this premiere was a little bit different. We had heard it was going to be scaled back, and it certainly was. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot kept away from reporters at unusually muted Snow White world premiere in LA. And in fact, Jay, the only people that conducted interviews there, do you know who they were?
Select few, handpicked by Disney. I think somebody from Variety was there.
Well, look, all these pieces were there taking pictures and things like that.
Okay.
However, the only people that got interviews, not only were they handpicked by
Disney, Jody Benson, right?
They are employed by Disney. Instead of the usual lineup of dozens of red carpet reporters, the only interviewers they encountered were employed by Disney, like Jody Benson, who voiced Ariel in the 1989 animated classic Little Mermaid. Such was the scaled-back premiere of Snow White, which hits theaters on March 21st. And Gal Gadot and Rachel took a couple pictures together. Obviously, we know it doesn't seem like things are all perfect, but it seems like everybody that was there had the same exact thing to say. Rachel Zegler stuns in Snow White. Rachel Zegler praised by critics as a shining supernova in Snow White. So grateful to be invited and see Snow White, a stunning magical movie, deeply infused with hope, and Rachel Zegler's outstanding performance. It's a delight with the strong performance from Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler is a shining supernova. There we have it again. Rachel Zegler is Snow White, and she delivers a magical performance. Zegler was great in the lead role, and Gadot was fun. A little bit of a bash on the CGI dwarves, despite becoming an internet punching bag. Disney's remake of Snow White is actually the mostly successful. Rachel Zegler is an absolute star. Gal Gadot has beautiful gowns. That's the Gal Gadot praise. She had a great wardrobe, apparently, from Matt DeGroot. But yeah, can you believe it, Jay, that all of the people that were invited to this elite premiere to go see this movie have good things to say about Rachel Zegler as Snow White? Shocking, stunning. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I guess they were told they had no embargo, that they could go ahead and throw this out so the media can grab their reviews and start writing articles, and they could use those headlines to start, the pump promotion of how great this movie is supposed to be.
Well, that's typically how we see these things done, right? There's social media embargoes and there's review embargoes. So they 100% want everybody that went there to tweet about it, to generate excitement, to do things like that. The social media embargo. Wednesday is when the review embargo actually drops, and all these people are going to convert them to actual reviews and put them out one day before the movie comes out. But yeah, look, Disney is doing, in my opinion, all of the right things with the cards they've dealt themselves when it comes to this movie. Yeah, you shouldn't let Rachel Zegler talk to anybody that's not employed by you. Yes, you should absolutely have all your shills out there talking about how fantastic it is. And you shouldn't have doubted this movie. And despite people saying bad things, it's actually amazing. And Rachel Zegler stuns in the role. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to offset all the damage that they've done over the past 2 years.
I want to share this one. You mentioned it briefly, but this one is, and you want to talk about a word salad of epic proportions. Rachel Zegler is a shining supernova in Snow White, beautifully embodying the graceful and gentle nature of the OG Disney princess. This is my favorite part right here. It's a visual feast. Have you ever said that about anything? Man, this is a visual feast.
I don't know if I've ever specifically said that. No, I can't believe that I did. No.
It's a visual feast with show-stopping new musical numbers and, of course, dozens of enchanting animated animals. The screenplay wisely gives its heroine newfound depth, though her fervent desire to become the leader her father believed she could be. And a love story that's sweet as apple pie.
I can't wait. And you know what?
You want to talk about not wanting to lose your Disney access? You want to talk about saying the right things, but saying everything that makes no sense? This is the report right here. This is like one of the biggest freaking word salads I've ever seen, man. On top of that, they probably put some ranch dressing. This is insane. And these were pretty much all the ones that came out basically saying that. Did you see the one person wrote, after seeing Snow White, I almost shed a tear watching Rachel Zegler, and I never cry in my life. That was one of the reviews. I was like, what? And I think that person was from Screen Rant or something. I was like, what? There's no way that's real.
Well, look, I think
crazy. Nobody uses these words. No one says this stuff.
You know, we've heard Rachel Zegler shines, stuns. I think that supernova description from the last one you pulled up, that one might be the most appropriate, Jay, because do you know what a supernova is?
No.
It's the fucking death of a star. It's when it explodes at the end of its lifetime, right? So, you know what? Maybe that might be an accurate description because this might be the last shot like this we see from her as an actress. And of course, I think a lot of her future depends on how well this movie is received and how it performs. But that might not be the worst description we've had. They might have wanted to be a good thing, but I think you can also maybe interpret it another way.
I don't know. Every time I see supernova, I think of Dragon Ball Z. But now we've got the official definition. Star explodes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they shed a tear
at the end of its lifetime. Yeah.
So that's at the end.
So, you know, it is what it is. We'll see how everybody else feels about this. See how everybody else feels about this movie in a couple days. But the critics, to the surprise of no one, absolutely love it.